Switching softwares can be a difficult task. Luckily, we have developed a seamless implementation process that will help you transition from your old software to MyPracticeNow in an average of 2 to 4 weeks. Hi, my name is David Frere. I am the Customer Service Director of MyPracticeNow, and my goal is to fully train you and equip you with the necessary tools that you need to use MyPracticeNow. We have 6 available modules that you can watch at your convenience, or you can contact the office at 888-412-8810 or email us at info@mypracticenow.com and request a personalized live training session for you and your staff. Please take note that these videos are only to help your training, but I highly recommend that you take advantage of the live training sessions we provide for our customers. Let me give you a quick tip before we begin. You will have questions that will come up as you are watching the following modules. I recommend that you write them down and email them to info@mypracticenow.com so that we can go over the questions that you have in a live training session. Ready? Let's get started. Let's go ahead and add a new lead to the software. How we do that is we go to the menu tab, click on the client button, and here under your patients, you will click on new profile. We will go ahead and go to new lead, and we will enter the information of this new lead. Enter the first name, last name. Now, all this information, the street address, is not necessary at the moment. You can still move on, but if you can get the information from the get-go, then it's better to do that. We'll add the state, zip code. Now, the email address, it's very important, and the phone number. That way they can receive their notifications for the appointment. Now, on the cell phone number, it's very important that you enter it in this format. Area code, area code, area code, dash, 3 numbers, dash, the phone number. It's very important that it's done in this way and not in parentheses, because depending on your cell phone provider, we might encounter some problems with the software. So it's important that it is entered in this format. So now we've entered all the personal information. Now we are ready to schedule them for a seminar. That way they can hear about your program and hopefully get interested and register. So here from the seminar, select the seminar. You will get a list of all the seminars that we have set up already. In this case, we've only set one up so far, the weight loss seminar, so we'll go ahead and sign them up to that. The day the contact was made, the source, let's say it was Facebook, inquire about themselves, a motivation scale, let's say they sound really motivated. If they are bringing a guest, this is where we would add the guest name. Let's say they are adding a guest, and Elvis will be bringing Maria. And here we will choose if they qualify for the seminar or not. We'll put yes. Now the motivation scale is for internal use only. So let's say if you want to send a standard that anybody that sounds or that seems to be motivated above 6, the scale of 6, then they do qualify. Or let's say that you've set a standard in your clinic that anybody that falls below the 6, that they won't qualify. That's internal use, and that's only up to your clinic. So we've set up all the seminar information and the personal information. Once we've done all this, you can go ahead and click submit, get a confirmation. OK. And now, as you can see, we have Elvis King as a lead. He's not set up to any program yet because he's just a lead right now. And we have his contact information. And now he is here on the list for your clients as a lead. So now that we've added Elvis to attend our seminar, now you can see that here under seminars, on the weight loss seminar, you click on it and you see that Mr. Elvis King is signed up. So we have one lead signed up and he is bringing one guest, which totaled 2 registered. He hasn't confirmed yet. So let's say he calls in or we call him and confirm that he will be attending. Then we can simply come here and change the status to confirmed. And now we have him that's been confirmed. If need be, we could come to edit profile and you can edit any of the information. And that is how you add a new lead to our software. Let's create a new patient and sign them up to a program. How you do that is you go here on your menu tab, go to your clients button, go to new profile, new patient. And now this window will come up and we will populate all the information. Let's say we have Daniela. We would add the date of birth, their street address, city, their zip code, their email address. This is the email address where they will be receiving their notifications to. So whatever email address the client would like to receive that's the number or the address that we would input. Their cell phone number. Now this is also where they will be receiving their text notifications for their appointments. It's very important that you enter all phone numbers in our software in this format: area code, dash 3 numbers, dash phone numbers. It's important that you do not use parentheses. Depending on the cell phone provider, some problems might occur if using parentheses. Let's say you have a patient that they will not like to receive text notifications, they're only interested in receiving email notifications. Then in that case, what you would do is you would simply input the phone number here under alternative number and you will leave this area blank. That way you still have the cell phone number on file, but they don't receive the notifications. So once we enter all of their personal information, we would choose the customer type that they will be. In this case, let's say they're a weight loss program type. And we will go ahead and hit submit. So as you can see, we have Daniela as a new patient that is a weight loss patient, and we have all her personal information. So now we are ready to add them to a program. And how you do that is go to edit profile, program information, and here's where we'll select the program that we will sign them up for. Here we'll change their status to signed up, the sign up date, the start date. Let's say they will start the same day. And here we will select the program from the program list that we have previously set up under our administrative preferences. In this case, we will sign them up to our weight loss 40-day program. It will automatically populate the amount of the charge for the program. Now you can always come in here and edit this amount. It doesn't have to stay the same. If you choose to, you can edit it. And once you have all this, then we can go ahead and hit update. Confirmation that's successful. And now you can see we have Daniela Diaz that is signed up to our weight loss 40-day program, the start date, and the software will automatically give you the end date depending of the length of the program that you've set up. And you will also have here the amount that you've charged for this program. Now, another way to add a new profile is if you have created a lead, let's say Mr. Elvis King, and he is just a lead, but we signed him up to attend one of your seminars. So let's say he attended your seminar, he liked what he heard, so he wants to be a part of one of your programs. So then simply what you do, instead of creating a new profile and a new patient and changing him, what you do is we'll simply transition him from being a lead into being an active part of a program. How you do that is simply select the patient. We go to edit profile. Here under personal information as well, you will have the opportunity to now go ahead and fill out the rest of the personal information. So now we can have his date of birth, and if we need to change the address that you've put in there when he was just a lead, you can also come in here and do that. The email address where they will be getting their notifications for their appointments, the phone number, and here we will change them from being a lead into being part of a program. So he's going to be in a weight loss and he is already active. So once we have added the date of birth, update the information if needed, and changed him from a lead to a type of program or patient, now we can go ahead and hit update. Successful. And now you can see that now he's went from being a lead to being on one of our active patients. So now let's go ahead and add him, sign him up for a program. How you do that is the same as previously. Go to edit profile, program info, and here we will sign him up. The day that he signed up would be today. The start date, we can set him up for the 18th. And here's where we would select the program that we will sign him up for. In this case, let's do the weight loss 20-day program. Here is the preset amount that we've set up under our admin button, but you can always come in here, as I mentioned, and we can modify that amount if needed, and go ahead and hit update. So now, as you can see, he went from being a lead to being a weight loss type patient, signed up to the weight loss 20-day program. His start date is on the 18th and his end date is on January of 2016. And here is the new amount that we've updated for this program. Okay, so that's how you add a new patient, or simply bring a lead and convert them into an active patient and sign them up for a weight loss program or any other program that you might offer. And that's how you add and sign up a new patient. When it comes to deleting patients, you do have the option to simply come to the clients button, and here's the delete profile option. We recommend that you simply just don't delete your patients. If one of your patients, maybe they dropped out of the program, or let's say a lead, they canceled and they are not interested in any of your programs, we simply advise that you come to edit profile. In this case, let's pick this user test. Come to edit profile, and here change them from being active to inactive, and hit update. So now this patient is an inactive patient. They are not part of the program. Whenever it is that you try to schedule them on your calendar, their name won't come up because you have them as inactive. And the reason is that we don't recommend you delete them is so you can still keep all of the information about this patient. If they had any charges that were entered or payments that were applied, so you can still keep all of the information. You can still keep the information about the program they were signed up to, or if they were leads, you can still keep the information for their contact, their phone number, email, in case later in time you want to check back with them and see if maybe at that time they are interested. If a case be that you just want to delete a profile, simply what you do is you select the profile that you'd like to delete, go to delete profile, and this warning box will appear letting you know that you are about to delete it and that all of their personal information will be gone forever. So if you choose to, then you can click OK if it's not a mistake that you are trying to delete them. It gives you another warning just to double check, let you know that all of the data will be deleted. Then if it's still what you would like to do, click OK. And that's it. You will get a notification that it's been successfully deleted. Push OK. And now that profile is completely gone. And that is how you delete profile information, patients, or leads. Let's talk about your patients tabs under the patient's profile information. The first tab that I will go over is the info tab. Here on the info tab, you can see their status, if active or inactive, the type of patient they are. This is a weight loss patient. The program they have been signed up to, if they have been signed up to a program. The start date of the program, the end date of the program name that they are signed up to, and the program amount. Here you will also find their contact information, their address, email number, phone number, and alternative numbers if you've added any. Here on this tab, you may also add notes. Very simple, just add a note, click save. and the note is there for to view whenever it is that you select that patient. The second tab is our appointments tab. Here you will see all future appointments that you've scheduled them for. If you put the cursor over the appointment, you will see the information of who added the appointment, the date, and the time. You may also delete the appointment, and you will also be able to see the past appointments of your client's history. The next tab we'll go over is your charts. If your doctor needs to keep track of the weight or any other medical information, here is where they would input this information. You would simply go add visit, and here you can update their weight, the glucose, their height, or add any other medical information that's needed. When it's that complete, you simply submit. Let's say Mr. King weighs today 178. You could submit it. Now you can see the entry that we've done on this day, and here is the latest information that we have added. So anytime you add a new visit, this will be updated to the new information. Our next tab will be a logs tab. The logs tab is a very good feature to make sure that there is nothing that falls through the cracks. Let's say that Dr. King or Mr. King calls and he says that he would like his provider to give him a call. Then we can simply, whoever is signed up to the software, whoever received the call, they can come to Mr. King's profile, click on call logs, and add a log for the call Mr. King would like for somebody to call him back. So subject is questions to provider. Here you would add on the notes what it is that he called about. And here you will assign it to one of the software users for them to get their notification and know that they are supposed to call them back. So in this case, I'm going to assign it to myself, Sergio. Once it's been assigned, you click save. And automatically, next time the user logs in, they will have this to-do box that will come up. By clicking on it, they will see that we have that Dr. King has questions. So he can click on it and you could see the notes, and he's able to see that he is supposed to give him a call back because he has questions. And there's no sticky notes that needs to be sent around or nothing, no handwritten notes that get lost. You can all have it in the software. So then we get the log. We change the status to close once we've taken care of it. We add comments if needed. And you can add whatever day. And you can put in what it is that it was said. You post, and now the status has been closed. We already took care of this, and we are ready to close it. And now the to-do will disappear. As long as it stays open or the status is not changed to close, it will still be here and appear, and the box will still be here until it gets taken care of. So now, as you can see, we have a history of the call log. Now you can see that on the 15th, we had this log, and by clicking on it, we can see the internal notes that were made on that call log. You can also just simply add a to-do. Let's say there's not a call, or you would like to just have a reminder. So let's say, for example, we would like to remind Dr. Frere that Mr. King needs to take all labs. You can simply come to do. You can add a to-do date or due date if you like. So we will add our subject, notes, we will assign it. In this case, we'll assign it to Dr. Frere and click save. And there it is. So now, whenever it is that Dr. David Frere, signs in to this software, now he will get the notification letting him know that he has something to do. And also here you will have the log of the to-do that we've created. And if we open it, we can see that the status is still open because it hasn't been taken care of yet. So it's just another way for us to keep track that everything that needs to be done is done, and there is no messages through sticky notes or just handwritten or anything that could get lost. Next tab is our Documents tab. On here you can add PDF files. Let's say you would like to keep a copy of their ID. Simply come to Add Document, choose the type of document, it's an ID, name your document, and simply choose a file from your for whatever it is that you saved the photo. Let's say maybe you saved it on your desktop or a specific folder that you've assigned. You would choose your file, upload, and next time you come to your IDs folder, you will have the file to view here. You could do all that to any of these folders. You can simply just come to Add Document, choose any of these folders, and add any PDF file that you might need. The next tab will be our Recurring Payment tab. If we have a patient that would like to be set up for recurring payments on a charge, we can certainly do that. You would just come here, add a payment method, add the card number, the expiration date, and the zip code. Click Add, and you will have that card information saved to set up the recurring schedule payment. And you are also able to see the history of payments that have already been transactions that have already been processed. Now, a reminder, for this feature, you do need to be signed up to our merchant services. If you would like more information about our merchant services, you can contact our sales department or email us at support@mypracticenow.com. And that is the tabs on our patient's profile information. So now let's go over the scheduling your client. Here on your home button, you will find your calendar view. This is where you will see and schedule your patients. You can either do your day view, which you would just select a different date, skip to the next one, or you can go back to today, or you can view by the week. Here I will show you all your appointments and color blocks for this week you have selected. You can jump to the next week by simply hitting the next arrow, or you can go back to today's week by hitting the Today button. Also, you can view by month. That way you can just jump right away to a later day of the month. Also, we have the field view, which it is that they will show you the calendar for every single one of the providers that you have set up on your admin page. Here on your field view, you can view individual providers by the same day, or you can change them by the month if you like to jump from one provider to the next. And so this way you don't have to jump from one provider to the other one. You can just have all of them in one window. And you can also see if there are, let's say, Mr. King calls and he would like to schedule his appointment for, let's say, on Monday, for Monday the 28th. And he would like to schedule it at 10 in the morning. So by having the full calendar view, we can see right away which provider has that time available. So right away we can see that Dr. Denise is not able to take the appointment, but we could maybe schedule it with Dr. Ray or Dr. David. And once that is in here in the full calendar view, you can still come in and go ahead and schedule your clients from this view. Let's go ahead and exit out of that. Let's go to our weekly view. So as you can see here on your calendar, you can see the time color blocks that we have already set up on our admin page. And you can also see whatever clients you already have scheduled for this week. So how do you schedule clients? We have, for instance, let's say Mr. Elvis King, that we have already set him up with the program. He's already part of the program. Okay, and he is ready to be scheduled for the appointment. So let's say if we go here to our apps button or tab, we can see that he already had his seminar and he already had his evaluation. So now he is ready to be scheduled for his next appointment. So let's go ahead and schedule Mr. King. Let's go to our home button. Let's say that Mr. King would like to be scheduled for Thursday at 9 in the morning. So you'd like to be scheduled from 9 in the morning, and it'll take us, we need an hour for his appointment. So then we'll need from 9 in the morning all the way down to 9:45, so it blocks it all the way to 10. So how you do that is very simple. You simply click and drag to the time of the length of the appointment. So let's say it's only going to be from 9 in the morning till 9:30, then we would just click to the length. In this case, we're going to make it to 10 in the morning, so we're just going to drag it all the way down to 10 in the morning, and when you release, this window will come up. Here we will select the patient. If you have a long list of patients, you can search them by name or last name. In this case, our list is fairly short, so we're going to schedule Dr. King or Mr. King. We will select the provider. In this case, he will come in and see Dr. David, and the reason for visit, which you have already previously set up on your admin page. If you don't recall, or if you need to freshen up, you can refer back to the training on the video for module 1 on how to set up your appointment types. So in this case, we will schedule him for a follow-up. So we'll select a follow-up. If you need to have a recurring visit, so let's say that we want to have Mr. King come in for 4 more times, and we want him to come in every other week. You can set that up here, and so that way on your schedule, on your calendar, it will have the recurring appointment for you. In this case, we want it to just be a one-time, so let's go ahead and just leave it as is. And let's go ahead and add a note. Let's say we will make sure that all forms are turned in. And then once you filled everything out, then you can go ahead and add event. So now as you can see, we've added his appointment. So now Elvis is scheduled for Thursday the 31st at 9 in the morning. If we go here to Elvis's profile view and we go to the appointments tab, you can see that he has a future appointment that we've just created. If you hover your cursor over the appointment, you will have a little pop-up that will say which user of the software scheduled that appointment, the day it was scheduled, and the time that it was scheduled at. Okay. So now, let's say that for some reason, Mr. Elvis, he would like to reschedule. Then we can simply, let's say he wants to come in on Thursday, the same Thursday, but instead of coming in at 9 in the morning, he would like to make it an hour later at 10 in the morning. So then simply what we could do is just click and drag to the new time that he would like to be scheduled at. We can also jump it to a different date if needed. So in this time, let's say we're going to change it from 9 in the morning till 10 in the morning. So we just go ahead and click, drag, and release. And now he's scheduled for 10 in the morning. Now, whenever it is that we schedule any clients for an appointment, as mentioned before, they will receive their confirmation and they will receive a reminder for their appointment. The confirmation that they receive, they will receive it at the time that the appointment is made. And the confirmation will be received a day before their appointment. So in this case, that we've made the appointment for Mr. Elvis at 9, he received his confirmation the time that it was made. But once that we've clicked and dragged to reschedule, he will not receive a new confirmation. He will just simply get the reminder the day before the new appointment that we just, or the new time that we've just dragged into. Okay. So now, another way to view our calendar, you can either view it here by provider, and here we will see the schedule for every single one of the providers at one time, or we can jump. Let's say I only want to see Dr. David's appointment. I can jump there and it will only show me his appointments. Let's say I only want to see Dr. Denise's. It will only show me Dr. Denise's. But if you would like to see all of your providers at one time, individual by the individual date, and to be able to modify them individually, you can just come to the full view. You can also see them here. Okay. And as I mentioned, from here you can also do the scheduling. Let's say that for Dr. Ray, I need to make an appointment at 9. I simply click, drag, and it will work the same way as when we are not on the full calendar view. So let's say that Mr. Elvis is called and he is confirming his appointment. Then what you simply do is you come to the appointment, you will right click on the appointment, and this window will come up. You will see here the name of your patient, their date of birth, phone number, or their personal information, and the provider that we'll see. So simply, to confirm the appointment, you would come to the status and click confirmed. Status has been changed. Okay, and we can go ahead and close. So now as you can see, we can see that the appointment has been confirmed. Let's say Dr. David, he calls the office and he lets us know that on Thursday he will be sick, or he is sick, and he can't make it to any of his appointments. Or maybe he's going out of town for vacations. And so we need to reschedule the client that he's going to see for this day. So simply what we would do is we would come to the appointment, right click, and here on provider we will simply appoint this appointment to a different provider. So we'll change it to Denise, Dr. Denise. Successful. Go ahead and close. And now as you can see, it's scheduled for Dr. Denise instead of Dr. David. Also, let's say Mr. Elvis, he calls and he lets us know that he won't be able to make it to his appointment, that he would like to reschedule. But in this case, he wants to reschedule for a different week. He doesn't simply just want to change the date or for the following day. So what we would do in this case, instead of clicking and dragging to the new time, we would simply right click, change the status from confirmed to rescheduled. And now we can see that he's been rescheduled. And we are able now to reschedule Dr. King. Let's say this time he wants to come in on Wednesday or Tuesday from 9 in the morning to 10. So let's go ahead and do that. This time he will see Dr. David again, since hopefully by next week he's not sick anymore, for a case follow-up. And we will add notes again. Make sure our forms are filled, and we add the event. So now we have rescheduled Mr. Elvis for the following week. So now when we come here to Mr. Elvis's profile, see in the apps, we can see now that he has an appointment that has been rescheduled. And here we have the new scheduled appointment. So the reason why we recommend to simply change the status and reschedule is because in case that, let's say maybe there's a client that he keeps rescheduling, if you simply delete the appointment, you will have no history of the appointment. In other words, here on your appointments tab, you won't have the history of that past appointment. It will simply disappear. So the reason is that we simply recommend to change the status and just make a new appointment of the rescheduled time, is so you can keep track and you can see that's what happened, that it was rescheduled. In case maybe, let's say Mr. Elvis keeps rescheduling on you, you have a history on that, and you can see that Mr. Elvis perhaps is not too serious about it. So that is the reason why we recommend to not delete the appointments, but simply change the status to rescheduled. Let's say instead of rescheduling, Mr. King calls and says that he would like to cancel his appointment. Then we simply change the status. We will right click, go from on the status to canceled. It's been changed, and now we can close that. So now, as you can see, it's been canceled. Now you also have the option to delete the appointment, but as I said, we don't recommend to delete it. That way there is a history and you can see that Mr. King perhaps keeps canceling or rescheduling, and you can see if this is really what he wants to do. Okay. Now something else to note is that whenever you make an appointment, you also have the option to add notes to it. So whenever it is, for instance here with Dr. Denise, when you see that there's a little star here on the upper left corner, that means that this appointment has a note that needs to be read. If you make an appointment without notes, then simply you won't have the star up on your upper right corner. Okay. We also have the option to print out the schedule. So let's say I would like to print today's schedule or tomorrow's schedule. Then you simply come to print schedule. We will select the date of this that we would like to print. So let's say it's going to be tomorrow, so the 28th. And which provider I would like to print. Let's say I could only just print Dr. Denise's, hit run, and it will show me everybody that I have scheduled for that day. In this case, we only have one. We have case evaluation. It shows me the notes that I have made for the appointment, and here it will show me the status of the appointment. In this case, for this appointment, the status hasn't been confirmed or arrived or anything, so it's just blank. We need to confirm that or change the status. But here you'll have the list of every single appointment that there is for Dr. Denise on this day. So you can simply hit print, and you can print it, place it in Dr. Denise's desk, or break room, or whatever it might be. As I mentioned, you can also print out all of your providers. You hit run, and so the only provider that has this appointment that day so far is just Dr. Denise. So that's the only thing that we're showing here for Dr. Denise. If we had, let's say for Dr. David, we see here Dr. David and all of his appointments, in case we need to place them or put them, like I said, in the break room for all of your providers to see, or print them and give it out to everybody in the staff so they know what's going on that day. Okay, you can simply just go ahead and close that. So as I mentioned, your time color blocks, you can set them up on your admin button, which, like I said, we've covered that on our module 1 training, so you can refer back to that so you can view it. And that is how you schedule, reschedule, confirm, cancel, print, and view all of the appointments on your calendar.